The moment you've all been waiting for. Welcome to round one of the first annual Fitz and Whit mock draft. No, it's not about prospects. It's about coaches this year, and it's about who you would want to go to dinner with. I'm going to give you the first pick in the draft. I'll take the second. You take the third. I'll go fourth. You'll go fifth, and I'll go last.
Is this current, dead or alive? Like what? Like, is it like used to be a coach?
Let's go current coaches, just so we can narrow the scope a little bit.
Okay, just current NFL coaches.
Screw that. I'm actually going to go first. We're not going to do it that way because I don't want your friend to get mad at you. I'm going to take Sean McVay with my number one pick.
It's cool.
I want to take Sean.
Some bullshit.
Because, well, yeah, I didn't want to put the pressure on you. And
I wasn't going to choose him, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, shoot. That's a waste of a draft pick. No, I'm curious with Sean. Like, if me and him had a one-on-one dinner, there's a couple questions I would have. First of all, I'd be very excited because he's going to look immaculate. The dress is going to be great. It's going to be whatever's in, whatever's trendy. The hair is going to be perfect. He's going to come in with a bunch of energy.
He's improved the dress over the years, Fitz. I think the first 3 years, he wore the same exact thing every time he went to dinner.
I saw, the coach's photo thing, and when they do the, Kyle Brandt and whoever else, when they analyze it, like they've noticed too that Sean obviously now doesn't dress himself.
He's upgraded. Yeah. He used to wear the same blue sports coat every single time we went to dinner.
Yeah. My concerns are this though. Can me and him talk about anything but football? Like, is he just going to be all football all the time? And maybe I'll try to veer in a different direction. And it's always going to circle back to football. That would be my number one concern, which look, I don't mind talking football. I would love to pick his brain about it, but I would like to go to different topics as well. And then can we get over the only talking about you because you're our mutual friend and that's an easy topic. And then secondly, and you'll have better insight than me on this one, will he at least reach for the check? Like, I'm paying, right? I'm going to invite him, but is it assumed that I'm paying? Will he reach?
No,
will
Sean
he try
will
to pay?
Sean
He'll do the get up and go to the bathroom and give the waitress the credit card deal.
No, I think he'll just straight up ask for it. Actually, he'll probably be talking when the check comes and won't realize that it's there. And you'll go to pay it and he'll take it back and be like, I'm paying. That's probably what's going to happen.
But then I could be like, well, I'm older.
Or he may never even notice that you paid the check and then go, wait, are we done? It's going to be one of those type things.
Okay, so you're welcome. I picked Sean McVay first. I think we'd have a great time. Who's your first pick?
Well, I mean, having played for Sean McVay in the Los Angeles Rams, I think I've been to dinner with 7 of the NFL head coaches. So because they all were with us at one point with the Rams. So I got to go outside that whole area. I'm going to go some different places, I think. So my first pick, I think it's going to be a guy that I have faced a bunch in the NFL. And okay. I just think after seeing him at the NFL owners meeting, at the league meetings, I'm like the biggest Pete Carroll fan on the planet. The dude looks like he never ages. He's got the same juice and energy every day in every room he walks in. I just want to go to dinner with Pete and have just tell me about life, Pete. I just want to listen to Pete talk about life and what's important and how he's, what he gets his joy from and his day. Because I just think the dude is one of the most interesting guys that's been in our game, because you look at his impact and what it was in Seattle, at USC, along the way in his career, the success he's had. And then, as soon as the Raiders hired him, you're like, man, I know one thing, the culture, the attitude, the energy of that building will be really rare and really special. And that's just who he is. And so I would love to sit down and have a great meal with Pete Carroll. I'm going to guess he's more of a breakfast guy than maybe lunch or dinner. That's my guess.
You'll get the senior citizen discount probably.
Yeah, I think we're going to go in early bird special.
Yeah, that'd be huge. And then my question with Pete would be, does he take his gum out and save it somewhere for after the meal? Or do you think he throws it away and he's got more gum in his pocket?
I'm also interested in what he eats. I kind of feel like we're going to do some avocado and egg whites and probably have an almond milk latte together, but I'm not sure. I'm going to guess that's kind of giving me more the style, rather than Waffle House.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see.
Eating a banana and then rubbing the peel on his face. I mean, he looks that young.
To your question, I think we're not even going to pay the bill because somebody's going to walk in and be like, oh my God, that's Pete Carroll. And they're going to pay the bill. That's my guess.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, you didn't steal my second round pick. I'm going to go with Mike Tomlin.
Oh, dude, you stole my second round pick.
Well, hey, he's going to walk in. Gosh, he's going to command the room.
Damn it.
He has a calm, unshakable presence about him. Part of the reason I just want to hear him give a toast. I would love to hear him give a toast because I'm sure it would be fantastic. I guess a one-on-one toast would be weird, but I've already got some ins with him in terms of his son just graduated from Columbia, so we can do like the icebreakers and the Ivy League talk and kind of yuck it up. I know that he's boys with Tommy Amaker, who's the coach at Harvard for basketball right now. So we sort of have that guy that we both know. So I think we could get over some of that initial awkwardness.
What, are you not knowing the deal?
I don't know the deal.
Listen, we tried. We put him on the spot. I mean, I at the league meetings, Fitz way back when you're greeting with Mike, you didn't know the deal. He made that known, and so I put him on the spot and just said, hey, listen, you kind of made Fitz like he didn't know the deal, a couple years back, and he didn't flinch. He's like, nope, that's it. All right.
I lived a real life. It was a real life Key and Peele skit, Barack Obama, where, I was the one white person in the conversation and just got a firm handshake, and I didn't get dapped up, and I did not know the deal.
And we brought it up,
working towards it.
He dapped me up and gave me a hug, and he shook your hand and said, good to see you, Fitz.
Real pleasure to see you. Yeah.
That was great. That was awesome.
But I got to imagine the drinks will get flowing. He'll have some great stories. He's a dude. I feel like by the end of the dinner, he'll have me rethinking all of my life decisions. And I would love to have dinner with Mike T. And then at the very end, I'd ask him about George Pickens and just have him tell me a few stories.
I love that.
Okay, second round pick for you. You need some time? You mean to buy you some time, or you got one?
You took Mike T off the board. Now I'm worried about getting picked. So you picking people I want to meet, but I feel pretty good about the next two that I'm thinking. But for this one, I'm a little torn. There's two guys that I'm in between on. It's because of us getting to go to league meetings and having that opportunity to be around all of them, Fitz.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, for me, it's Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. I was really intrigued getting the chance to kind of just.
Well, you got to pick one. Which one are you picking?
I'm gonna go Ben Johnson only because of this. So I really loved getting to meet those guys. First time head coaches, getting their opportunity, their passion and energy. It was really cool to sit down and have some of those conversations about who they see themselves as. But Ben Johnson, I'm picking because I'm intrigued, man. I see some similarities when Sean McVay came to the Rams in 2017 in the sense of like great play caller, a guy who's obviously, Sean didn't have the extensive success that Ben had, with Detroit and that group. He had a really special team. But Ben really like a very unique play caller, has a real feel for the game and how to use all his weapons and all those things. And you worry like, all right, new situation, you don't have those weapons. Does he actually know what the priorities are? And does he actually know like how to get there? Because he inherited some of these things. And to see him become a head coach and the first thing he did is addressed, I'm going to go get better players that are protecting my quarterback so we can run the ball better and protect him better. And Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson, and now signing Dahlman out of Atlanta, the center, you can tell he knows exactly where his bread is buttered and where we're going to start to build this offense so that we can give Caleb a chance for success. So I was really fired up to see him that's the first thing you do as the head coach of the Chicago Bears. And then just being around him, man, the vibe, the energy he has, there's some swagger there. I'm excited to see where he goes. So I would love to sit down and just kind of hear more about, him and what drives him and really his history a little bit and get to know him a little better because I'm excited to see where he goes from here.
I would be curious to ask him the second decision he made after shoring up that O-line was talking shit on LaFleur.
Yeah, that was fun too. We had some fun with that.
That'll be a fun conversation to have too.
I think that means he's got a little fire, man. I like that.
See, we're looking at these dinners a little differently. You're going to be an X's and O's, an organizational guy, and I just I want to get away from football a little bit, but I have a feeling that our last guy is going to be the same.
Can I go first?
Because you can go first if you don't, as long as you don't take mine.
Okay, cool.
Or how about, hey, I'm going to count to 3 and then say who yours is, and hopefully it's not the same guy. Okay, ready? 1, 2.
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
I got you. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
Did I jump the snap count?
Son of a bitch.
Call me Jawan Taylor, baby.
Tell me why you want to have dinner with Andy Reid. I knew it was going to be Andy Reid, by the way.
One, Andy Reid's the man. I've called him what I consider the best, head coach in NFL history before. I've said this. So you know what I admire him for that. But also just the human being, man. Getting to sit down with him last week and just talk a little life and football. And listen, you can try to take him if you want, Fitz. The guy's an offensive lineman. Okay. He's been in the room. You know what I mean? He's coached the room. He's been in the room. He's one of us, baby. So you can try to take him, and all this stuff, and all you guys really are going to realize is how important O linemen are, and that's it. So he's a guy to me I've always looked up to. I love the way he coaches ball, the energy he has. I love that. Reading a lot about him, he has this. He likes to write things down on note cards for people, and one of them was, like don't judge, and it's basically like. Give people opportunities and see who they are before you judge who they are. And I've seen him kind of talk about that and how he's developed over time, where he used to think everything had to be specifically done this one way. And I got this game, this game plan or playbook, and everything's got to like match up, all the lines, everything. And then over time, I've learned certain players draw outside the lines and color outside the lines. And like, I've got to learn to like how they fit, and I've got to adapt and grow to them. And so I just think he would have a wealth of knowledge when you talk about different quarterbacks, different players, no matter where it was, he's been successful. I would just love to pick his brain about that kind of stuff, because I think it's like amazing his level of sustained success, and then just the calm human he is. He coached me one time in the Pro Bowl. He was our coach. And just being around him that week, I was like, man, how special it would have been to just have the opportunity to play for this guy. I consider him the best, and I just think he'd be a lot of fun. And not to mention, I love a cheeseburger. So I'd be down to grub on some cheeseburgers with him, and get his cheeseburger knowledge would also be key. He knows the spots.
You can sit here and say you're an O lineman and he's an O lineman, but look, you've changed over the years. You've changed. So if you're going to a cheeseburger spot with Andy Reid and you ask for it protein style and get rid of the bun and just have lettuce
grilled
on the
chicken
outside.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Andy's not going to love that. Here's my biggest concern. If I go to dinner with Andy Reid, my biggest concern is going to be that we're going to show up wearing the same shirt.
There's a chance
because the
of
man's style is absolutely impeccable. An endless amount of Hawaiian shirts in the closet. He loves the button up. I think it would be a lot different than the McVay dinner, because Sean has a taste for the finer things and is going to pick a great restaurant, or it's going to have to be a great restaurant. With Andy, I think we could do a dive bar. I think we could get away for
That's
it,
a great
right?
Want to go.
So it's like with him, I would love to talk football. We should go to Miller's, Andy. Love to talk food with him. Love to talk rib recipes and do all that. But the two things that I love about Andy, every time I see him, he tells me how much he loved my interview with him at the Combine back in 2005 when he was the Eagles coach. So I can't hear compliments enough. So that's why I would invite Andy to dinner. And then, the start of the Chiefs run here, they got home field advantage when in 2019, was it 19? Yeah, in 2019, the Dolphins knocked off the Patriots in the last game of the season to give them home
playing
field.
That game?
Well, it's not actually, Mike Gesicki was the one that got the pass. Here you go. Grid-Sicky. He got the shirt on today. But I love Andy. I think he's iconic. I think you could feel at the coaches meeting just how much respect all those guys have for him.
Everyone sat up a little straighter in their chairs when he walked in the room.
They most certainly did.
Cool.
So I thought that was a really cool thing. And I haven't had the chance to get to know him really well, but he's obviously revered by all his players and has had a ton of success. So I'm with you on the Andy Reid thing. I was a little nervous. We were both going to pick him, but I think the conversations would be very different, and he'd probably like me more because I'd keep the bun on my triple cheeseburger and you would use lettuce.
Unbelievable.